Hi there, it's Lori from Lollipop Paper and Ink. I have a sneak peek project today from the upcoming January to June 2022 mini catalog. So this catalog is, I can't show you the inside yet, but it is chock full of beautiful, beautiful bundles, paper, stamps, ink. It's fantastic. And also in January, when this catalog goes live, we'll also be starting a new celebration period. So I wanted to take a few bundles that I was able to pre-order. As demonstrators, you're able to pre-order a month before the catalog goes live to the public. And this way I get to play with it a whole lot sooner. And if you were a demonstrator, you'd be able to do that also. The fact is, if you were to join Stampin' Up! This month, you would be able to add these products to your starter kits. So that's something to think about also. So, all right, so what I started with this was my first project that I started with. I have done a few, but I started with the Heart and Home suite. And that is one of those huge suites that have 2 bundles that are included in the suite, plus a whole lot of other really nice, cool items for us. These are the Heart and Home doilies, and I don't know how many you get, 30, and it's 3 colors, so it's Cinnamon Cider, Misty Moonlight, Basic Gray, and actually 4 colors, because then you could always use the white on the opposite side. We're going to use those today, but we're not using this. This is a new embossing folder that's in this suite. It's called the Hive 3D embossing folder. And this is really cool too. I have used this already. And then we have some embellishments, classic matte dots, which is the white, very vanilla, gray, and black. So we'll be using those today. And these are the dies, so you can see how cute these images are. I love the fonts, and you have the little bumblebees, and then you have the dies that coordinate with it. Both the dies that crop out the stamped images, and then also there are these, which is the most fun to play with, the ones that are, you just crop them right out of the cardstock. So that's the one, that's the stamp set bundle that we're working on today. This is the other one I just want to show you. This is called Blessings of Home. And this has beautiful, bold, big, bold images and the dies to crop them out. So I'll have a few projects with those coming up soon. So what I wanted to do today was make a pocket card. And I did this on my Facebook Live this morning. We used a different, I'll show you what we did. We used the DSP, which we're going to be using again today. And that's the Heart and Home DSP 12 by 12. And it's very pretty. And it has it has nice traditional prints on one side. And on the other side, opposite side of all of the pieces, has a wood grain print to it. So this is what we made today. It's just a pocket card. You could write your sentiment on that side and slip that in. And then also at the last minute, we decided to just make a little bookmark and include that in there. So that's what we're going to do today. Just a little bit, we're just going to do it a little bit different, because I wanted to use, to see how it looked with an actual card base. So you'll have all those elements to it. We'll still have everything else that we had before. So let me just do some adhering. And I'm just going to put this on I will have the dimensions on the bottom of the video in the description. This is one of the garden green DSP prints. Okay, so what we need to do for the bottom, the actual pocket part, is take squares. So this square is the cardstock one is 3.5 by 3.5, and the DSP is 3.25 by 3.25. And we're just going to slice those diagonally. And I'm taking my my regular trimmer out, and I'm just putting it into the groove of the cutting groove here, and I'm just making sure that both points are right there. And I'm going to do the same thing for the DSP. Now let's see, I want to make sure that I'm not going to have my grass growing one way on one side, so I think this will be fine. All right, so I have extra now, so I can put that aside for another project. And we will just do some adhering of this. This project comes together super quick. Because I wanted to make sure that it was, the design was going in the same direction. So I'm going to put this here, and that will be our pocket. Now I don't want to use the tape runner, although I think it may be fine, but I think what I'll do is I'll use some liquid glue and just try to do a fine line just on the two short sides. And I'm layering that right to the edge there. And just give it a second to dry, and that glue always gets everywhere. That's why I try not to use it. I try to use my seal whenever I can. So let's just give that a sec to dry. So let's work on the inside panel. And so I chose a different DSP. Again, this one has another of the wood background, and I'm just layering this up with the pale papaya because I see that that is what's in the print. I have those two colors, so. Okay, so this is going to be the main panel that just sits in there. Now, for the cards that I had made earlier that had a really dark background and that I wasn't using an actual card base, I put a piece of white, basic white on there so that they could write their sentiment to from whatever they want, their greeting was. So, but in this case, I don't have to because this is just going to be an extra little panel that they can take out. So what I'll do here is I'm bringing in the, actually I'm going to use the white side of this. And I have cropped out a few. I'm not sure like which colors I wanted to use, but probably these three will be added to this panel here. And so we're just going to do a little bit of stamping. And I'll crop this image out with my little mini machine. And I just inked this up, so I don't know if hopefully it won't come out too wet. All right, that's good enough. Get rid of that before we get into trouble. While I have that out, I think I will stamp my sentiment here also, and then we can get rid of that dark color. And this says, "So glad we're family." Okay, and that's gonna go in there. I always give it a little blot first on my scrap before I put it onto the chamois, just to save that a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to take this die from the set, and we're going to just run that through quickly. It's a very simple design, but having a pocket and having a little bookmark at the end gives it a little bit of specialness. Okay, so now all we have to do is just arrange these on our base however you like to see them. So I'm just going to put this on first, and this way we'll have a base to work with. You could use a full one. Actually, I wanted to use a half because I didn't want to cover up the beautiful paper. And so I'm going to have this, I think I'll just put a little bit of adhesive on the bottom and then see how things fit as I'm going. And this is the garden green and pale papaya together, which makes for a nice color combination. And I'm not going to worry about it being too loose on the bottom because we're going to have the sentiment tag go over that anyway. So here, I think I'll put this back up here. Okay, I like the way that looks. And all right, so now we're going to just make sure that it's gonna fit right in there so we know where to put the sentiment tag. And I wanted to just add that just right to the bottom like that. So I think that's good. I have my sentiment tag. I can add that here. Now first let me put a little bit of the pale papaya ribbon around that. That also will help keep the these ends of these die cuts in place. We'll give that a snip. And make a quick little knot. I'm going to bring this down as low as I can. And we're just going to make a quick knot. Okay, now we'll know where to place the sentiment tag. And this is going to go right in there. I do want my bow to, my tail of my bow to carry over into that side. So I'm just going to put this here. And now I know that it will all be seen. And I'm going to use some dimensionals for this so that it stays in place. And when I'm doing it, I'm keeping the dimensionals away from the right end of the tag because I don't want it to go onto the card base. I do want them to, whoever's receiving this, to be able to lift it in and out. Okay, look how pretty that is. All right, now, so the last thing I did at the very last minute was to just do a little tag with the same DSP and the pale papaya, wrap some ribbon around it. And this also was, this wasn't from this suite, but it was from the Fan Baker's twine. So, but it was green. It's not garden green, but it's certainly good enough for this project today. So this can just slip right back in there, and the person that you're giving it to has a nice little panel card that you could, or you don't have to write anything, but they also have a little bookmark to remember you by, and you can write your greeting in there. I'm just going to add just a few of these classic matte dots in the white, and also this way you can see exactly where your insert panel is going to sit, if you just keep it in between those two dots there. And then we'll just add one more up here. There we go. So that is done. I have the bookmark, I have the panel, and it just slides in and out. If you were mailing this, you could certainly use just a regular envelope and just simply fold back the ribbon tails like that, and it would fit perfectly in your envelope. Okay, thank you so much for just spending a few minutes with me today. I hope you enjoyed this project from the Honeybee Home. If you did enjoy the video, feel free to like it, share it, or especially to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I would appreciate that. So thanks so much again. Have a great day. Bye-bye.